Hi everyone, this is NHL News Report. So back from the video. Today we're talking about the Vancouver Canucks and a player that has been around the trade rumors lately, and that is Brock Boeser of the Vancouver Canucks, a top six winger of the Canucks. And the Canucks didn't start the season too well. They had a bad start the season, even worse than last year, but they have kind of nicely rebounded here, giving themselves about a little less than a 500 points percentage here. 500 record, like 400, 450, is what we're looking at. But they're around that right now, and they have scratched, Brock Boeser, a healthy scratch the other night, but he's not too bad this year. One thing about Brock Boeser, he does get injured. He's injury prone of a player, so expect that if you want to receive him as a player from another team. He's one of those guys who gets injured frequently, and he's a great player. He has a great shot, great wrist shot. He really does. One of the best releases out there, but the Canucks look like they want to do something here. And Boeser is 25 now. He's, getting a little bit older here. It's not like the young team. I know it's still 25, and the thing about that, 25 is fine, but they're not winning enough with these guys, which is concerning. Got young guys here, not really young, but young enough here, to have a good team, and they're not performing still good enough. So, that is kind of concerning, though. But looking at his stats, I will put up his stats on the screen here. We can see what he is. So Brock Boeser, 25-year-old. His height is 6'1". He's 208 pounds. His contract is $6.650 million. And that's a 3-year contract. Goes to 2024 to 2025 season. That's the end of the season. It expires. And this year, in 19 games, he's got 4 goals, 11 assists, 15 points this season. And that's not too bad for his season so far. So if he's this good, maybe they can trade high. That could be a possibility. Absolutely. Now, I'm going to, I have a couple teams here. I got about 4 teams I like to talk about. 2 from the Western Conference and 2 from the Eastern Conference, of teams that could possibly pick up Brock Boeser. Now it is $6.650 million bucks here, but most teams don't have about 6.6 million bucks or 6 million hanging around there that are a good team. They just don't. You look at most teams. I'm just going to tell you the teams that have 6.5 million. And there's one team, the Blackhawks. 5.8 is the Senators. Current cap space. 21 million is the Ducks. And the Sabres are at 24 million. And the Coyotes are at 24 million. 10 million with LTIR is the Blue Jackets. Actually, a couple more here. Hurricanes at 6 million with LTIR. Same thing with the Leafs. So they're right up to the cap without that LTIR for sure. So not too many teams. If you don't have LTIR, which some players could come back from, that's gonna pose a problem for them. They're trying to move something this season right now, or in the off season. But here are 6 teams. Some of the players have, you have to probably bring some contracts back the other way to Vancouver, unfortunately. But they could get a really good return for this 25-year-old. Looking at the first team, I like to put up here. And this team's actually been really good this year. And if they add him, that's a really nice addition, along with all the other additions they have done in the off season. Look at the first one, and that is the Seattle Kraken. Now, Seattle added Andre Burakovsky. They added, who else did they add? Now I'm forgetting now. Bjorkstrand. I just had to tip my tongue there. Bjorkstrand is another guy. 2 wingers there. They add Boeser. That's even adding more to the top 6. And they're winning right now. They're a really good top 6. They look really good right now. I like how they're playing. Martin Jones is the goalie who's been taking over as goal here over Grubauer. He's played actually not bad at all. The Kraken had actually been pretty good this year, and it's been pretty amazing. And I think they'll probably make the playoffs this year. Definitely feels like it. Um, Looking what they got, try to send some cap back the other way. You got Alexander Wenberg, 2 years left, 4.5 million. That kind of helps. With the 1.3 million they do have in cap right now. Yanni Gord, he does have 3 years left at 5.1 million. Alexiak has some years, 4.6. I don't think you're moving that. Dunn at 4 million. He's off at the end of the year. Maybe do like Carson Soucy and maybe Morgan Geeky or something, and retain just a little of Boeser's contract. I don't know if they want Wenberg's contract. I don't know. They might just want to move out some cap at this point. They've been always so much with the cap, right at the cap with these bad deals at times. So, new management, we'll see how things go. But that would be nice. Looking at what you would have in the top six: Burakovsky, Bjorkstrand, Yanni Gord, you have McCann, Emily Schwartz, you have forget about Benils. That's kind of like top 6, 7 right there for you. Think about more like top 9 if you want to think more. A solid top 9 is good to see. Absolutely. So let's move on to the next team that I think would be really interesting. So like I said, those are the players that would be interested. Interesting if they can move like Susie and like you know kind of geeky or something like that would be interesting. And that might be a cool thing, The Canucks could use more defense, and they had a center. Okay. And maybe get like a first round pick and a prospect. A good level prospect. A first round pick of this year and a prospect would be interesting. Moving on to the next team. I like to present to all of you. And that is the Nashville Predators. Now, Nashville, right now, have been an interesting team. Last year, they all had really good seasons, and that was kind of beyond what they usually do. Of course, you look at them right now, they are 12-9, 26 points, so right there, but they could probably use someone. Looking at what they are in the cap situation, they do want to move a defenseman. That could be Danton Fabro. Fabro right now is making 2.4 million. That is nice. If you can move maybe Fabro and maybe they take on Jeremy Lazan, but Lazan only has 1.19 games. That's not the best. And that's a 4-year deal they just signed, so they might be like, yeah, no thanks. Maybe they do Fabro. How's Tanner Jeannot? I heard he hasn't done the best this year. Yeah, only 5 points in 23 games. Maybe you do like Fabro, Tanner Jeannot there, and like a second round pick. That could be an interesting one. Fabro, Jeannot, and a second round pick. Maybe a prospect if you want to throw that in there. I don't want to put too much, but I know he's about a point per game, so you might want to put prospect in there. And the prospect could be, I don't know. I have no clue. It could be, more like a B-level prospect if you want to pick one. That would be the type of guy you would want. Can't think off the top of my head of who could be Predators' B-level prospect at this point. But just as B-level prospect, any of them. A second-round pick, a B-level prospect, Fabro, and Tanner Jeannot. I know Jeannot has had a slow start. He had 41 points last year. But if you want to get Boeser, you might have to give him up. I'm not saying you should give up on Tanner Jeannot, but if you want to get Boeser, there you go. Moving on to the next team would be an absolutely intriguing move here. The New Jersey Devils. New Jersey had an absolutely fantastic year so far. They've been unbelievable. Right now, they're in first in the league. They're 24-1 with 41 points. Boston right behind them at 40 points. New Jersey is very good. You think of the Devils, they are a very good team. Went from Lindy Ruff, chance of, We want to fire you we want to keep you now, and he's done really good. What they have done, you can add to this team a little bit more if you want to even be even more deadly. The offense, have more deadly offense here. If you want that, adding Boeser would be quite interesting. Even though this team has played fairly well, this will be more of a deadline move instead of like the next couple of weeks. I'm not saying Boeser will be traded next couple of weeks, but more like toward the deadline move here. Maybe you move Andreas Johansson. He's got a year left, and Miles Wood. Both got years left. 3.4 for Johansson, 3.2 for Miles Wood. You move those two guys. Let's see how Wood has done this year. Miles Wood, he has 13 points in 24 games. Not bad. And Johansson was, put on waivers. So there you go. Unless you want to do Holler, either of them. But if you want Boeser, you might want to give up two wingers and then keep Eric Holler as your center. That would probably be the wise idea. The only thing you have, Igor Shagovic, $2 million, and his contract's going to be up at the end of the season, so you're going to have to pay him. You will have to pay him. You're also going to have to pay Jesper Bratt. So, if you're going to have to pay those two guys, having Boeser could, be a little on the tough side, knowing he has 3 years, instead of like a trade deadline acquisition. Even though Saberson and Ryan Graves, all UFAs, Graves, it will get more. Graves is a guy who's at 8 points in 25 games plus 18, meaning he's going to want 5-6 million probably. A team will give that to him. He's 27, Saverson has been with the Devils his whole career so far, and he's just been a solid guy. 6 points in 25 games, but he's just a solid defenseman. He's been there for a long time. And you do have Palat's $6 million contract. So that's the thing. It's, a little bit tough there. You have to kind of manage the cap there, trying to figure out what you have. But if they add Boeser, they can be kind of creative here, you know what I mean? I'm going to add an interesting one, and they don't have to take any cap, and that is the Buffalo Sabres. That's one team you send Boeser to, and you don't have to take any contracts literally back. They have enough. And that would be so nice between Tage Thompson, Jack Quinn, Paterka, Boeser. You put him in there with Skinner, and, just that would be so cool. Between Tage Thompson's shot and Boeser's shot. Would they give a first round pick? That would be a little on the tough side for them. Do they? Do they not? Do they still need that first round pick this year? I would say yes. 2023 draft is one of the best drafts they said it's going to be. And teams are but not trying to give up that first round pick this year. It's going to be tough. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. It'd be interesting what you would do here. Who would you trade? Krebs has been, not the best. 3 points in 19 games. It's kind of like he's been not the best this year. Maybe you trade, like, I don't know, Victor Olofsson. But he's 27, like Olofsson. I don't know. It's tough to pick one. You don't want to give a massive Matthews Avoid and Ostlund and Kulich. You know what I mean? Those are tough guys not to give up. Maybe like a second round pick, maybe like a second and third, or something like that would be interesting. But that would be a tougher one. That's kind of like a hot take out there. One that kind of stretches, but just an interesting one to put out there. Best would just fit right in there with Don Granado's style and all that. That would be quite interesting to have Tage Thompson and, Boeser. They maybe trade like Middlestat. You know what I mean? Middlestat, Krebs, and a second round pick. That would be interesting. For sure. Some make more sense than others. I thought made a lot of sense was the Nashville Predators one. I like that one a lot. Fabro, Journeau, and like a second round pick. Helps the defense. Add a little in the offense. Tanner Janot could really help him with his offense. Different scenery here for him. It'd be quite interesting. Same thing with Seattle. The Devils, a little tight fit. Looking now at Jesper Bratt and Saragovich that have to sign deals, and they're going to want more than $2 million and $5 million now. So there you go. And Graves and Saverson, on defense too. So you gotta look at that too. It's gonna be tough for the Devils. Um, and knowing that they have Andre Palat as $6 million, even though he's out right now. So there you go. Thanks for watching. This is my thoughts on Brock Boeser. I do think he's gonna be traded eventually. He's been there 7 years already. I can't believe he's been there that long. But he's 25, still young. $6 million, not too bad. Especially if the cap goes up next year to $4 million. If they pay off the escrow there, if they pay off the escrow, it will go up to $4 million. If they don't by the end of the season, it will only go up by $1 million. But a lot of teams are probably hoping it goes up to $4 million with the whole cap strapped team they do have. So we'll see what happens. We really will see what happens. Let me know the thoughts in the comments below. What do you think? Which team can do it? Like I said, probably Predators, then the Kraken, Devils, and then Sabres. So, we'll see what happens, right? It's the next video. Bye.